Lin strolled alongside the dragon child, making casual conversation. You know, that little horn of yours is the spitting image of your mom's, he remarked. Shame your temperament didn't come from her, too. The child's face flushed a brilliant shade of crimson. Ugh, stop wasting words, she huffed, stomping her foot. Let's just go already. You talk too much. Oh, touchy about the temper, are we? I guess that's a sore spot, Lin thought, barely suppressing a grin. In the blink of an eye, the scenery around them warped and melted away, teleporting them straight into the heart of the dragon territory. They stood before the massive world tree, and without pause, the girl led him down, down, down into a labyrinth of glowing roots deep underground. She navigated the twisting, bioluminescent pathways with the unshakable confidence of someone walking to their own fridge for a 2 a.m. snack. She probably has a favorite root she leans against to read scrolls or whatever ancient, mystical beings do for fun. Lin, meanwhile, could scarcely conceal his wonder. Each step unveiled new marvels, a world hidden beneath the world, glowing with soft, innate magic. He smiled faintly, enveloped by the deepening sense of enchantment that seemed to breathe from the very walls. Abruptly, the girl halted. A smile brightened her face as she gazed up into the woven shadows of the great roots above. Mother! She called out, her voice clear and ringing. Lin turned at her cry, searching for the one she addressed. But before his eyes could find anything, the child spoke again, her question hanging in the mystical air. Mother, is this man beside me my father? Lin's gaze finally followed the dragon child's, traveling upward until he saw it. And by it, he meant a colossal, majestic head emerging from the very roots of the world tree like some kind of divine, scaly jack-in-the-box. His jaw, which had just recovered from its last floor meeting, dropped again. Well, I'll be damned. It's the purple dragon mother. And she looked just as shocked to see him, her giant, luminous eyes widening in recognition. She truly never expected their paths to cross again. Lin's brain, already struggling with the father thing, now had to process a tree-embedded dragon. How in the seven hells did you end up in there? He blurted out, gesturing wildly at the roots. Did you lose a bet? Get stuck redecorating? This is not a standard real estate choice. The dragon's voice, a low, resonant rumble, explained her predicament. In short, she'd been killed by that crazy woman, her one and only enemy. Now, the world tree was basically her magical life support system, a cosmic drip giving her just enough juice to not be fully, dead. All because of that lunatic, she sighed, who wanted revenge for some measly humans. A light bulb, powered by pure dread, went off over Lin's head. Oh crap. She means Alice. A wide, slightly unhinged grin spread across his face. Hey, about that, he announced, way too cheerfully for the situation. I found her. Alice. She's, part of my tribe now. Oh, and she's carrying my child. So small world. The purple dragon mother's shock was palpable, her giant eyes blinking slowly as if trying to reboot. But then, a deep, knowing calm settled over her. She almost smiled. She complimented him, saying he was truly different from all the others. No kidding, Lin thought, I'm the guy who accidentally collects his wife's mortal enemies. Finally, we learned the dragon child's real name, Zeo. The dragon mother turned her massive head to her daughter. Zeo, he is indeed your father. And do not underestimate him. He is truly powerful. Powerfully good at creating bizarre family dynamics. She urged Zeo to go to her father and live a good life. She then revealed the secret, while the other dragons in the Dominion called Xiao, apparently Zeo's true name. The despair. In truth, she was just shy and bashful, putting on a strong front so no one would think she was weak. The girl, Xiao, was mortified. Her cheeks burned as she shuffled toward Lin, looking at her feet. She couldn't even summon the courage to call him father. The word was too new, too overwhelming. Lin's heart did a weird, soft little flip. He got it. Without a word, he reached out and gently patted her head. It was a simple, affectionate gesture. A torrent of green aura exploded from the girl, engulfing the cavern in shimmering light and smoke. When it cleared, she had shifted into her smaller dragon form. She shot into the air, zipping around the cavern ceiling in pure, unfiltered joy, her flight patterns looking like a happy puppy chasing its own tail. Whoa, Lin thought, shielding his eyes from the magical glitter fallout. Talk about an emotional release. Note to self, head pats are apparently dragon superchargers. Even the purple dragon mother was pleased, though she noted with a hint of maternal concern that their child was growing far too quickly, bigger in less than a year than even the deeper purple dragon mothers. She theorized it might be the goblin blood in her, since goblins were basically the weeds of the fantasy world. They multiplied fast and got strong quick. Lin was happy for Xiao, but then he turned serious, facing the tree-embedded dragon. I need to ask you about something important, he said, his tone shifting. Do you know about the whereabouts of the dwarves? I need to get something done with them. The dragon mother was shocked. Why on earth would he want to find them? But she explained that even she had only heard rumors. Their whereabouts were a closely guarded secret. Then, she had an idea. Perhaps you and Xiao should go see the Dragon King. She must know their location. But their time was up. The dragon mother's form began to flicker slightly. My body is not fully shaped yet, she explained, her voice growing fainter. I must rest between conversations. With a final, grateful look, she thanked Lin for helping her get her revenge. And she decided, the moment her body was completely reformed, she would go see for herself what Alice looked like now, after being tamed. Great, Lin thought, watching her fade back into the roots. Just what I need. A playdate between my pregnant, sword saint wife and my tree-bound, formerly dead dragon baby mama. This is fine. Everything is fine. Lin stood in silence for a moment, processing the sheer absurdity of his life. So, to recap, I'm a dad to a dragon nicknamed Despair, my baby mama is a tree, and my next stop is asking a giant lizard monarch for directions. His thoughts were interrupted by a small, hesitant voice from above. Father? Zao called out, finally mustering the courage. Are we leaving? Lin's face broke into a warm smile. Not yet, kiddo. First, we've got to go meet the big boss. The Dragon King. The scene shifted instantly, plunging them straight into the heart of a raging volcano. Molten lava bubbled and churned like a demon's soup kitchen, with only a few precarious rocks offering a path. The air shimmered with heat so intense it could melt your face off, and not in a good way. Every single dragon in the cavern stopped what they were doing to stare at Lin. Their massive, scaly heads tilted in unison, their expressions a hilarious mix of shock and utter disbelief. They were looking at him like he'd just shown up to a black tie event wearing swim trunks. The rumor was out, this mere goblin-looking dude was supposedly the father of Despair, thought, feeling the weight of their skeptical glares. The dragons couldn't process it. Nobody got that close to Zao, the dragon they called Despair, without becoming a light snack. This was a creature who'd devoured other dragons for brunch and asked for seconds without blinking. Seriously, she was the reason the local dragon population needed a support group. Meanwhile, some of the older, stuffier dragons grumbled amongst themselves. They thought the purple gold dragon mommy had made a huge mistake by mingling with another species. Talk about racist reptiles. They wept for their pure, crystal purple bloodline, now tainted forever. As if adding a little genetic variety was a bad thing. Get over yourselves. Lin ignored the whole lot of them. Their drama was boring. He had a mission. He zeroed in on the biggest, baddest dragon of them all, the Dragon King, and cut through the tension like a hot knife through butter. Where's the dwarf kingdom? He asked, his voice steady. A pompous white dragon, who clearly thought he was the king's press secretary, snorted. The dwarves? Please. The humans have been hunting them since, like, forever. They're in hiding. You'll never find them. Don't even bother. Lin didn't even blink. He turned his head slowly, fixing the white dragon with a deadpan stare. Cool story. But did anyone ask you? He said, his tone flat. Or did you suddenly become the Dragon King when I wasn't looking? Should I be bowing? The white dragon recoiled as if slapped. His ego definitely just got vaporized faster than a water droplet in this hellhole. Suddenly, a deep, rumbling voice cut through the awkward silence. It was the Dragon King. "I know of the dwarves," he boomed. "There is another clan. But this knowledge, it comes with a price. 2 conditions." Lin's posture shifted instantly. "Game on." "Name them," he said, all business. "First," the king roared, "you must stop despair from hunting her own kind. No more dragon munchies." Lin shrugged. "Deal. As long as they stop picking on her first. Nobody bullies my kid. Even if my kid is a 700-meter-long, world-ending nightmare." Condition 1, handled. With the first condition settled, the Dragon King leaned in uncomfortably close. "The second condition," he whispered, his breath smelling of sulfur and secrets, "requires a more private audience. Follow me." Before Lin could ask what that meant, the king took off. They flew deeper into the volcano, which Lin didn't even think was possible. It was like descending into a pizza oven that was also, for some reason, inside a bigger pizza oven. The heat was absolutely insane. When the Dragon King finally landed, the rock beneath his feet didn't just melt, it vaporized with a dramatic whoosh. But Lin was able to withstand the insane heat, largely thanks to the protective dragon saliva barrier he'd been marinating in during the ride over. Talk about a weirdly effective sunscreen. He was just wondering if it was finally time to speak, when a wave of flaming aura erupted in front of him, so intense it made the air crackle. He turned around, and his brain did a full system reboot. The massive Dragon King was gone. In his place stood a breathtakingly powerful and alluring figure, a dragon in a magnificent humanoid form. She radiated the same terrifying, majestic energy as the purple-gold dragon mother, just with a different color scheme. Well, that explains a lot, Lin thought, utterly stunned. From now on, we're definitely calling her the Red Dragon Mother.